Good question. I mean, your job is hard creatively and logistically. You're getting old. Everything breaks once you get old, once you pass 30.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome, welcome in, my little cutie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought you had too. I don't know. Hi. It honestly wouldn't be anybody's Twitch stream without a little bit of scuff. Yep. I don't know. Yeah, Rook's not drawing yet. And I got started a little bit early because I got impatient. I don't know. Chat, you ever thought that? Hashtag not my rugby. Same. I think you were the only creator I ever watched consistently on Twitch. Which I feel bad about because we have other friends that stream on Twitch fairly regularly. Oops. Oh no. Yeah.
You can't be heard, Rick. Nope. At least not on YouTube. We could hear Druid.
Oh damn.
Welcome back, everybody.
I guess that's what the Where's Rook was about.
Yeah.
Sorry, Douglas. We made an assumption.
I had muted myself because I was recording a video yesterday. And I didn't want my audio. And I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you, Corbus. I appreciate that. Welcome back, everybody who I've been talking to for the last 10 minutes. I was working on sound stuff. Twitch stuff. So there was a lot of berating of myself for not knowing how Twitch works. And case in point. So,
yeah.
Yep. Oh, I'm dropping a bunch of frames. Restreaming might not work. It just might not be able to handle it. How's the stream actually like look on Twitch and YouTube? Emotional damage. Yeah. Hello, Douglas. I said hello to you earlier, and Oliver as well. But you didn't hear me because I was muted. So sorry about that. Welcome in. How's the audio stream today? Is it doing okay? Restream is kind of broken. Talking for the last 10 minutes. Yep. That is how I do. I haven't drawn a tall rugby in a while, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that today. You know what I discovered today, which I think would be really funny? If someone casts like enlarged person on rugby, but we've said in the past that the bugbear rug is like a bag of holding.
Yeah.
His legs would get bigger, but the body wouldn't.
Because it's an attended magical item.
I guess the ears would get bigger too, so that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Rugby's actually 15 goblins living in a magical sack.
I'm getting a buffering.
You're getting a buffering?
Yep, on both Twitch and YouTube. At least for me. So that could be a Wi-Fi thing.
Sure. Yep,
Yeah,
we need these points of data. So let me know how the stream goes today, everybody, because we are still trying out the dual streaming again. And if it's not good,
fine. Yeah, YouTube looks fine to me.
looks good. Okay, we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going.
Yep.
Remember to join the Patreon.
We need more points of data, people.
Send those bits.
Oh, kiddo. Oh, it's so sad.
Hold on a second.
Sleep pooping? Mm-hmm, probably. Oh boy. Little fart machine. Good morning. Where am I?
How did I get here?
Not used to consciousness yet, huh?
Yep.
I don't blame him. I'm not used to consciousness yet either.
We got some, like, flashcards, baby flashcards.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally just like shapes, and not like, how do I say this? It's a black card with a white circle in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just contrast. It's just contrast shapes. And then some of them are like the same thing, but it's made out of dots, so that it looks like a circle, but it feels like something an optometrist would show you. Like that. That's right.
Right.
Because yeah, like at this point in development, he can distinguish colors, and that's about it.
Yeah. That actually makes sense to me though, because it feels like the flashcards would be trying to train pattern recognition.
Exactly. Yeah. So like they don't have to be anything special, and they're not like, we're not like, this is what a square is. It's just like, can you see this? And we were flipping those around, and we flipped one that was like a weird striation pattern, like the hypnotic pattern thing, you know, where it's kind of spirally and checkered. I flipped that, and he was just like, what is this? I was like, oh, too much. We broke him. I want to make a full new ninja sect now. Did they release the ninja? There's about a 20-second of latency between Discord and Twitch. Twitch should be on a longer delay because this is just the way Twitch is. Yeah.
I've not heard anything about ninjas.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither. But if I had heard anything, I would have heard it from Corvus, so that's not surprising.
That's fair.
Sorry.
Don't apologize.
I don't know.
Rely on you at this point.
I feel ninjas won't be into Tiantra, but because of, I don't know, ninjas are almost, I don't want to say taboo, but like too pop culture-y.
I mean, the ninja is a classic Pathfinder class, so I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I know y'all hate me for saying this, but like it was just a variation of the rogue.
It's a rogue monk combo.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the same thing with the Scald. Like the Scald is just a barbarian bard. So it's like that's one thing I really liked about Pathfinder, is that they have those class differentiations. So
the amalgamated classes and Pathfinder, as much as I respect 5e for being much better at multi-classing, I think that the combined classes in Pathfinder were a lot more fun.
Yeah. If they only give me a rogue subclass or like archetype for a ninja, I'd be fine with that. Like I'd be fine with it. I want Flurry of Stars, man. Flurry of Stars is great.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like they need more rogue rackets anyway, so but that would not bother me. And I would not mind, I mean, bringing up the Scald, I would love if the Scald became a bard archetype.
Flurry of Stars is already in the game, you're saying?
Something very similar. Let me here. Because the monk has
a rogue and a monk combo, that would be a ronk. Or a moog.
No.
Telling him about
because there's a stance for monks that
the stances are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Flurry of blows with shuriken.
Oh, okay. That's kind of neat.
So, way you were describing Flurry of Stars, I'm like, well, that sounds like this one feed here.
After our conversation yesterday about, you were telling me about Jump Rope playing a monk with dragon stance.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at stances and I started comparing them to 1E. Stances in 2E are much more powerful.
Yeah, they're almost the stances in 1E were kind of just this is a prerequisite for you to get cool crap later on. But like now they're functional modes that you shift into.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
Which and they were like they tried to have them be functional modes you could shift into in 1E, but the action economy system didn't really allow for it
Yeah.
to function well.
Because you were giving up your whole turn of doing stuff to go into a stance, and it's like, it's too much.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, the text on the 2E stances has them being just kind of by default more powerful, I think. But also because of the way the action economy system works, they are much more functional and a lot more fun to play with.
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm excited about that.
I'll also say certain stances lock you in the specific type of attack it gives you.
Yeah.
Not all of them do. I think the ones that don't lock you in are not as
They're not as strong.
punchy, but
Yeah.
they're still very useful.
That's very much a Paizo thing to do, right? Like they like to play with the push and pull with the give and take.
Mhm.
So and again, that's a thing that I like about. I realize that specifically is not a thing for everybody, but I enjoy the idea that in order to get this benefit, you understand that you're giving up
Yeah.
some amount of utility.
It's the
or
siege mode.
You're
Siege
giving up
mode's great.
something. Yeah.
Because I was, a few weeks ago, was looking at like how to play like a gun monk
Mhm.
without going into the bullet dancer stuff. And what people were kind of recommending was going with either tiger stance or wolf stance. Most generally wolf stance. And going like way of the drifter gunslinger. So like
Way
go
of the
start
drifter.
gunslinger and then like go multi-class into monk and get the wolf stance. Because wolf stance doesn't lock you out of doing other attacks. I hope people heard me say that, so.
I assume so. I heard you
Okay.
say it, so
Rick must have muted himself.
yeah.
But yeah, if I was doing ninja, I would probably start rogue, multi-class into monk, and get the shooting star stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go with rogue first, you get more sneak attack damage.
Yeah. I think I would do it the opposite way though, because I think the flurry is more important to me than the sneak attack damage.
Well, if I remember correctly, the monk archetype gives you flurry of blows.
Does it? And it I have not looked at the monk a lot, so I suppose I don't really know too much about it, but I would assume based on what I have seen from the rogue that I would personally rather have a higher level monk than or a higher monk level than a rogue level.
That's also possible, because like, one reason I would like, I guess it really depends. Like, do you want to have scaling sneak attack or no? Because like,
Yeah.
or do you want the really cool key magic of the
Yeah,
monk?
I think I would generally rather have the cool key magic. Because that feels more ninja to me, right? And the rogue sneak attack damage doesn't scale as much in 2E as it does in 1E.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right.
No worries.
That's fine.
I'm gonna start rolling. I think I'm ready.
Let's see. I don't know how.
We'll put the poll up on YouTube.
I think the 2E rogue gets like at max, it's like an extra. I think it's 5d6 for sneak attack.
Yeah, the sneak attack damage is lower, but you can double your dice and your damage stuff with everything else. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think the damage is.
Also, you can like do it multiple times around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a Pathfinder thing versus 5e.
Yeah, you could do that in 1E as well.
Yeah. 12. There is a lot of opportunity for you to set yourself up for it in 2e, which I appreciate.
Yeah, yeah.
A rogue and a monk. Oh, we already did that.
I will just say though, Dervish Dancer
Doesn't work.
rogue in 1E was stupid scary because there was a feat called Dervish Dance, which was one of the very few ways that you could get
Flanking on yourself.
yeah, well, not only that, but also you could get dex to damage. And it used a scimitar, which had a higher, I think it's ×3 crit damage multiplier.
The scimitars
It does.
had. Is it ×3 really? I'm thinking of the
So, yeah.
falchion. The falchions have a higher crit chance, but
Yeah. I'll look it up.
because I thought the only thing that scythes might have ×4.
Yeah, I believe
There's
that's
×3.
correct. Okay, yeah. So scimitar was a d6 damage critical on an 18 to 20 ×2. Yeah, so you're correct. So it wasn't ×3, but they had a
Higher crit range.
yeah, a much higher crit range. Yeah.
And then you got the things where you could get down to like 14, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which I think
And
the
then
new,
with-
the new system is much better for that anyways. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I rolled a 12, which is an Asimar cleric dressed in black garb, plague doctor mask. Oh no, the black garb of a plague doctor, wide brimmed hat, thin red threads wrapping around the hands. Okay. Plague doctor cleric. Ah. Why is hat so hard to draw?
Yeah, I don't know. But it is. Always, inevitably. I think cowboy hats are the worst.
Yeah,
draw.
it's so bendy.
Yeah,
They're so bendy.
and kind of just super weird shapes.
Oh god.
Oh, I heard that one.
I'm so mad.
It is hard to be a baby. You're getting used to a brand new body. You have no way of communicating besides scream. I feel for the kid.
Yep.
Oh god, I forgot about 1E's like weird damage dice stuff where it's like a falchion's like 2d4 at base. That's like that's such a weird thing. Just make it a d8. I get why. I do. We've
There's a
discussed this
scale.
before.
There's a scale. It's slightly better. It's slightly better than a D8. And in my
I
mind, like,
prefer what they've done with 2E, where it's just like just up to dice.
yeah, I honestly I feel like that should be the difference between martial and non-martial weapons, like going up that half step. Because if you have like a machete, right? Like, yeah, that could do a D6 of damage. But then if you have a short sword, it's like, let's go 2d4 or 2d8. Let's just do that. Or I guess 2d. It'd be 2d3.
2d3.
2d3. Because it's just raising the minimum, right? Like you're just slightly more proficient with it. But it's also capping the top because you're then no longer getting an even distribution. You're getting a bell curve.
Yeah, but I still prefer that because it's more consistent
Right.
damage.
And it's going to be slightly higher too because like here, like your median is always going to be 3.5, but here it's gonna be 4. So
Yes.
you are gonna be doing slightly more damage on average, but
Just looked it up because you mentioned machete and short sword. I was just curious what they were at 1E.
mm-hmm.
Exact same stats.
Yeah.
With the exception of short sword does a piercing damage.
You can pierce with it. Yeah, that makes sense. Do not try to pierce with a machete. It will break your machete. Almost
Yep.
every
Yeah,
time.
like they even had the same crit range of 19 to 20.
Things I have done with machete. They like to do this when you try to stab with them.
Because they're made of shit metal.
Mm-hmm. Usually stamped.
The best weapon, the facada.
Isn't that a two-handed falchion? Or is that
No.
the scimitar?
No.
Neither.
Is the facada this thing?
The facada is like a large kukri, but
Yeah,
from Europe.
the Felcat, yeah, it's
One of these.
correct.
Okay. And
But
then
it
this is
usually
a
has
scimitar.
a handle that looks something like this.
Gotcha. Okay. This is a
And a
scimitar.
falchion is
A falchion looks like this?
falchions kind of look like a little bit of everything.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, the defining factor of a falchion is not the shape, except that it's supposed to be a single-edged straight sword. Actually,
Yeah.
the defining factor of it is it's like the blade part is hollow ground, so it's like a straight razor, and they are designed to cut through cloth armor.
gotcha. So one of these.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I drawing? Oh yeah, Plague Doctor.
Like,
I was watching a Joe Rogan clip this morning because YouTube likes to
no.
shove those down my throat,
Yep.
and it was something to the effect of like, "Why is it okay for the Pope to dress like a wizard?" And I was like,
he's the
Fair.
least wizardly of clerics.
there was more to it, and it was stupid, but it was like, I think that's such a funny thought in my head. It's like, why is it okay for for religious people to dress like wizards? Everyone thinks it's fine.
It's
It's their uniform.
Yep, it's their uniform.
the You know what? No, I don't want to. I don't want to answer it.
I mean, to be fair, anybody could dress up like a wizard, and there shouldn't really be a problem with that. But if the president of the United States dressed up like a wizard, maybe we'd have some talky points about it.
Yeah, I think that would, depending on the type of wizard you're talking about, like certain grand wizards, I'm sure there's a certain demographic that would absolutely love that.
It's not far off though. Like, case in point.
Okay, so the answer to why it's okay for the Pope to dress like a wizard, but it's like the church generally like does not like the idea of wizards in general, is because the idea of somebody else having magic is basically
All right, I gotta stop you. There's a I don't think the church actually dislikes wizards. It just doesn't like witches.
but
Moses was a wizard. Wore a robe, had a
Moses-
staff, made magical snakes.
yes, but like the okay, so the
How about we
church
drop it?
specifically does not the church specifically does not like non-ordained wizards, and that's the rub. That's where the dividing line is the church.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore. I was just trying to make a joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You hit a sore spot in my brain.
Okay.
You're not even Catholic, Druid. Drop it.
I spent a lot of time trying to make Christianity make sense so that I didn't have to abandon my religion and estrange myself from my family.
What does a D3 look like? A D3. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. That is
didn't mean
an
to-
excellent.
Yes.
Let's please derail this conversation before it goes any farther. Answer that question.
So-
That seems like a much more appropriate question.
Oh, did you guys hear this kid screaming because he's getting his diaper changed?
Not currently.
It's the funniest one because he cries himself for it, and then as soon as you're done, he's like, "Yep, I'm good." It's like, yeah, I don't know why you were so sad. It's really weird. Sorry.
I don't like my ass to be cold either.
That could be it. It's just like, my butt is cold. Jesus was a lich. I think so, yeah. There's a way to look at it. Technically not a lich, but pretty close. Pretty close. Doesn't have a phylactery. Zombie, on the other hand. You could go zombie.
Yeah. Certainly an undead of some level.
Self-perpetuating. Which I guess makes him a lich. It doesn't matter. A D3, it looks like a D4, except you oblong it so that it cannot land on the bottom. You do something like this. So these are dead. These are dead faces.
Yeah.
But then you have 1, 2, and then 3 on the other side. That is one way to do a D3. The other way to do a D3 is to just do a D6 and have alternating faces. So you'd have 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 on the bottom, 1 on this side, 2 on this side. And that way it's balanced. As long as the dice is balanced, you can double whatever you want. So this
Also, argue
is still a fair die, and so is this. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the D3 really isn't a real dice, in my opinion. It's like, no,
It's not. Yeah, it's
weird
not.
dice that.
Um,
Go ahead, sorry.
No, it's okay. Most of the dice are. I can't remember the word. Dang it. They're polyhedrals, one, but they are platonic. That's not the right term.
That doesn't sound right. Pythagorean?
No.
Basically,
For
they're. Yeah, I don't remember.
regular polyhedron. Yeah, platonic solids. Any of the 5 geometric solids whose faces are all identical.
Okay, there you go.
Platonic.
Yeah, they are the
Yep.
platonic solids. Unless you found a better one. Okay. Yeah. So the reason that we use the dice that we do, which is the 4, 6, 8, 12, 20. Like, there's no D16, right? It's because there's no platonic solid for that. Because you have essentially a triangle, a square, an octagon? That's not right. Nope. It's one of these things.
Nope.
A diamond, I guess. A rhombus.
Octahedron.
Yeah. And then one of these puppies. Ooh, that's not right either. Shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They are tetrahedron, cube, octahedron, dodecahedron, and icosahedron.
Back to triangles. I like how I tried to draw that, and I could have just looked. I have a set of dice right in front of me.
Yep.
But yeah, they stack. They stack on top of each other, which is really cool.
Yeah.
The D12 is
The D12 is the most satisfying looking.
yeah.
Yeah. And as much as I love the clicky clacky math rocks, I also don't like buying specialized dice that I'm not going to use very often. So because the D3, for example, does not really come up very often, even within Pathfinder, which is one of the very few systems that actually uses it, I prefer to just take a normal D6, roll it, and divide by 2, round up on odds.
That's a very viable one to do. The other thing I think is pretty cool. I don't know if people might have noticed this in some of the shorts I've been making. I have a set of D4s that are cubes. And what they've done is they've rounded these edges so that it can't land on those faces. And so it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty neat. And that's the thing with the D3 too, is like as long as you can make something a tumbler so that it has to land on one trajectory, it's a fair die. Vsauce did anything on that. Yeah, they did. They're pretty good about that stuff. So these are fine as long as all the faces are the same. You can make an infinite number of dice this way on a tumbler, which is just meaning you can't land on these two edges and you can rotate it. And that becomes like a dial. Yeah. So if you need to make a weird shaped die, that's the way to do it. Because you just have to find the math for the angle of this face for how many you need around a cylinder. They did say garb. I'm wondering if I shouldn't do the mask. But the mask is always funny. Like, that's what makes a plague doctor. Plague doctor. Otherwise, you're just wearing leather, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the mask is part of the garb, right? I'm not sure you can actually, like, show Plague Doctor visually without the mask.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so iconic.
Why do you wear the mask? Because it smells good.
Indeed.
It's not filtering anything. It just smells good. This is for my comfort, not for you.
If I cared about your comfort, I would have made it look like something comforting. Instead, we went for the badass look, so now you get to deal with the eldritch horror that is my substitute face.
We should make it look comforting and helping people. You know, like the Valkyries. What if we made it look like crows? Don't they eat people that die? Let's go with crows. Just go with the crows.
It is cooler. Okay.
Never know. I
Also-
never know why they did that. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking, like, some of them kind of look like stork beaks or like ibises because they have a very deep curve.
Yeah.
A lot of times too.
Because they were just holding flowers and stuff. So really, I mean, essentially what they should have looked like if this was like mass produced, it would have looked more like a seal nose.
Yeah.
I'm sure the first ones looked like this, kind of like gas maskish. And then they like the concept of let's make it look like this was just kind of something that they went with. Because this is not accurate, you know.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate it.
Did you find some of the original ones?
Yeah,
They
I
look
hate
real
it so
stupid.
much.
They look like I mean, I was gonna say they look like the Plague Marines from but that's probably why. That's probably why it looked like that.
Oh God. It's just a bag.
Yep. It's just an air freshener. It's a face air freshener. That's all it is. Burn the witches. Bring me more nose smells. Yeah, let me get a closer look at you. Oops, there goes an eye. I wear the mask because I work as a shoe salesman. That'll do it too. D10s are not platonic solids. Are they not? No, well, all the faces look the same, but they're not, well, because the D12 wouldn't be either. Are you sure about that?
They're not platonic solids because the faces are not regular regular polygons.
Got it. Because they're
Right.
four-sided, right?
Correct. Yeah, they are
There are only five
four-sided, but
platonic
all of the
solids.
four sides are not equal.
I forgot about the D8. The D8 was the other platonic one. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. B person looks cool. Yeah,
Thank
dude.
you.
Good job.
I'm spending too long on it, like usual, but you know. I'm enjoying myself, so that's all that really matters. Also, I am reminding myself of how the few things that I have painted turned out well, or turned out the way I wanted. I'm reminding myself of that process, so that's good.
In relation to things turning out badly, or you just like painting?
In relation to things turning out the way I want them to. In the relation to things my style developing the way I want it to.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's all. I think I've painted lots of stuff that looks good, but I wasn't happy with it because it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Gotcha. Oh god, cell phone. No, get out of here.
You are an aspiring artist. Do not be like me. Take care of yourself. Celebrate your successes.
I was gonna say, or do it, just suffer. Suffer like the rest of
or
us.
doing your stuff. Yeah. There's a long history of suffering artists that made a lot of really good stuff. If you don't care about your mental health and just want to make good stuff, torturing yourself is historically a viable way to do that.
Nothing wrong with being Andy Warhol. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Or Van Gogh.
Or Bob Ross.
Uh,
I think you're doing a pretty awesome job. Is that an alibi? Oh, is that an able? I don't know what an ABIL is.
Yeah, me neither. This is I guess it's gonna be a Rhycrene, but it's based on a red horntail wood wasp.
Have to cut your ear off. You know, the whole, like... people focus on the wrong part about Van Gogh.
Yep.
You go crazy and send your ear to a prostitute once, and then that's the only thing people remember you for, yeah.
And a weird fact about the robes of a plague doctor.
Hit me.
They were waxed linen robes.
Okay.
I was
Duck
like,
cloth.
how do you wax a robe that isn't just like stiff?
It is stiff, yeah.
It is stiff, yeah.
But it's also waterproof, and you don't get the plague juices on you.
that's the most important thing. Is it basically is at the time it was the closest thing you'd get to sterile.
Yeah. That is the old way of waterproofing things. Have you ever had duck cloth, or like used duck cloth for anything?
No.
Which is just waxed canvas essentially.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. You can make pants out of them, and the joke with them is that you know if your pants are still waterproof is if they stand up when you get out of them, because they just like they didn't really bend at all, so you could stand them up, and they would just. And if they got too floppy, you'd have to re-wax them, and you waxed them by just pouring wax on them and rubbing it in.
Yeah. Or ironing it in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Or boiling it in.
It's not super comfy, but it's
No.
better than being wet.
Yeah. Most sailors' long coats back basically before the 1900s, and probably for most of the 1900s as well, were waxed linen or cotton canvas. I believe sails were as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why boats were so flammable, because everything was waxed.
Yeah.
Right, tar on it.
Yeah, it was either wax, tar, or pitch, which are all fuels.
Wax is the only one of those things that doesn't stick to your skin. Because it hardens.
Yeah.
Wax and pitch stay kind of gooey.
Oh.
One second.
The wax robed also prevented fleas, the true carriers of the plague, from touching the body.
Yeah.
Or clinging to the linen because they just couldn't find purchase on them.
That makes sense.
So it's less the mask and more of their actual robes that protected them.
Yep. Totally makes sense to me.
I mean, I guess sort of the mask would help a little bit, just people from coughing on you, but
Yeah. Considering it was layers of usually layers of cotton or other like plant fiber, usually soaked in perfume,
or vinegar.
or vinegar. Yeah.
I mean, the plague wasn't spread by air, was it? I didn't think it was an aerial thing.
No, I don't think so. But like,
It was
people
mouse
could still spread other diseases.
Yeah, it's a
It
zoonotic.
was pneumonic? Okay.
No, I mean yes, but it's a zoonotic disease, so it spreads from animals to animals pretty easy
Gotcha.
through fleas.
Oh, fleas.
And I
Okay.
think once you get it, I think you can spread it by coughing
Gotcha.
on everyone.
Okay. Spread by rats, then by people.
Yep.
Got it. I'm thinking of Ebola.
Yeah. That one is specifically
Rats,
blood.
fleas to humans. Bubonic plague is rats to blood to people coughing. Got it. Okay. Ibil are bee people from the Forgotten Realms. Oh,
Oh, cool.
Joe did a thing.
So a bill also, I looked it up. A bill also just means bee.
Gotcha. So, I have a fun thing. Because my character
Go on.
died in Pathfinder, we only have like 1 or 2 episodes left of this campaign.
Yep.
So I was like, I don't want to make a whole new character. One of the NPCs that Kevin the Necromancer had was a Tortle Dragoon. And so I need to make that character, because he's not actually spec'd out. He's just like he's just an NPC. But I need to make a Dragoon in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And I gotta figure out how to do that. I could go monk. I could go monk with a spear, or I could go fighter.
Monk. Yeah, monk could be pretty cool. I actually think you could also get a decent dragoon out of potentially a magus, because there's a spell called Fire Dive. I
Okay.
think,
I could look up fire dive.
which is on the magus list, and it basically lets you jump in the air, and where you come down, you do a
Explosion.
nova emanation of fire.
That's a Final Fantasy move.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, look at that.
so that's another potential option for you, at least.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Magus in 2E. I should probably do that.
Blazing Dive, that's the spell.
I forgot that this is supposed to be an ASMR, so
I will also say that there are a lot of jump feats that you
Yeah.
can get. I mean, you saw Rookzer, right?
yeah. Oh, I took a bunch of those for the other reason I stopped playing the tree is because he and Rookzer are built almost the same.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it would be really funny if this giant tree could just like jump 1,000 feet in the air and grab, like Titan grab stuff. And then Rookzer started doing that, and I was just like, I looked at my shield, and I'm like, uh-oh. I built the same thing, but he's got a shield instead.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's not, but I wanted to let. I think Burning was more invested in his character, and I was like, yeah, I don't need to keep playing this character. I need to rework him.
But like, also, Rookzer hasn't played a lot, so recently, right? So I don't think having that kind of overlap is necessarily a problem. I've also got an NPC who's a climby, jumpy boy, so he's
fun.
also got a lot of the same feats.
Yeah, it's a fun build. Cause like, there's a bunch of feats you can do where you like grab mid combat or like with attacks of opportunity, and like I think that could be a really good build. I have a question about how to make a character. Sorry, Corvus, go ahead. I was just reading chat.
Go ahead, read chat first.
I have a question about how do I make a character? I have an idea and stuff, but would like advice. Sure. I mean, yeah, you can ask us. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with asking us about that stuff.
Which system?
Yeah, that's the first thing. What were you saying, Corvus?
I was gonna say I would maybe recommend as an archetype maybe like acrobat or staff acrobat. It allows you to like basically kind of pole vault into the air.
Oh, that's cool. I could look at that. Do it more of like an aerial and combative person than a fighter.
Uh, Rick said, "What system were you planning on making the character in?"
Yeah. What race, class, and setting are you doing? And then what's your question?
Yeah. And we talking 5e? We talking Pathfinder? We talking a different system?
Okay, I think I'm done with this guy. Kind of a messy sketch, but it's a fun one.
That's okay. Yeah, it's still pretty cool. And you got some color in there, which is helping divide some things.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. I like it. Nothing wrong with a messy sketch as long as it's still readable.
Yep. Legibility is key. And also hard.
Yes. Yeah, it's very difficult.
5e.
5e, okay.
5e. Okay. 5e is relatively easy comparatively, so it shouldn't be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Here we go. Roll a 1. A beleaguered old man, warlock, with shaggy long hair and a beard.
You?
Well, then it says he dresses like a homeless sailor with booze in one hand and a revolver in the other. So it could be me. I don't know. What color are we doing here? Blue? A disheveled warlock. This is what we're drawing. Bum, 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 bum. That sounds like a 1, yeah.
Ratfolk Tailblade. I knew this. Oh god. Going back to our conversation on dice, I really just. I think the thing I dislike most about the dice stuff in 1E Pathfinder is. So, take the Tailblade.
Yep.
If you're a medium creature, it does a D3. Okay? If you're
Yep.
a small creature, it does a D2.
What does a D2?
Tailblade.
Yeah. So it's just like. So you're flipping a coin, basically. Either 1 or 2. And it's just like. You could just have made it a D4 and gone.
My favorite is cats in first edition do a D2 -1 damage. And I love that. there's something
Is there like.
beautiful about that math. Especially considering you do a minimum of 1 damage every time, so it's like, so you either do 1 or 1 damage. Glad we rolled that.
I think I'm just like, the cat does 1 damage, no matter. It doesn't need to roll. It just does 1 damage always.
Oh, man.
So is he making human noises yet, or is he still just doing prehistoric animal
He's
grunts?
making drunk old guy noises now.
Step in the right direction.
He's covered in spit.
Yeah. I saw a short video the other day. That made me laugh very hard. And it was I don't even know why this showed up in my feed, but it was a guy who was like, the video was basically day 1 of being a single stay-at-home dad, and introducing himself and his baby. Like, he's all happy and chipper, cheerful. Selfie in the bathroom mirror sort of deal, and then like quick cut to him like shirtless in a bathrobe. Definitely had a change, haggard look in his eyes. Still day 1 of me being a stay-at-home dad, and the comments are all like, you know for sure that he changed because he got puked on. And I'm just like, yep, babies are a lot, and usually covered in body fluids. They are so cute, though.
Have fun. Love you too. Bye. Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Everyone point at Rook and laugh.
Haha, Rook cares about his partner. Has a functioning adult relationship. Alright, I just gotta finish up these hands and then call it on this, I think.
When I first saw your bug, I thought you were maybe drawing like a Mormon cricket.
I mean, like, horntails do have the big ovipositor sort of That's what the big spike is. It's an ovipositor. It is a massive, rigid egg-laying device used for boring into things. For Mormon crickets, I believe it's used for burying eggs under hard soil. For horntails, which are their larvae eat wood, like they're tree parasites. It's used for boring into or under the bark of trees. So yeah, same device. In most stinging bees, I believe the stinger is a modified ovipositor. I will say though, I think wood wasps look a hell of a lot cooler than Mormon crickets, which are just gross.
I feel like you're a bit biased in that regard.
No, I believe everybody on the internet, no matter where they are, will agree with me on that. Back me up here, chat. This has nothing to do with a religious association. They are just really gross, really big bugs.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. Did you guys already talk about the Herringon Asimar cleric?
No, not yet.
Is that what you were asking about, Yoki? Like how would you make that?
I didn't see that they'd posted that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I guess the question is, like, where are you stuck? Because that's... You could go anywhere with that. Is your problem that you don't know how to make a Herringon Asimar? Because that's flavor. It's all flavor.
Mm.
What was the question? What's your hang up? Can you do that? Yes. To me, it seems pretty straightforward. What kind of cleric do you want to be? Like, what about the Herringon Asimar? Like, why that combo? What do you need help with?
But yeah, mechanically you can't. You just are never going to be able to have both all of the stuff from a Herringon and all the stuff from an Asimar.
Right. But if you're a Herringon with a halo, that seems feasible. Like that, I would beleaguer that. Belabored? I wouldn't belabor that point. Is that the way to say it?
I don't know. I'm not sure what word you're searching for.
I wouldn't fight about it. I think belabored is the...
Well, I think belabored is correct.
Wouldn't make a big deal of it. I'm replying to past things you are saying. I'm sorry?
Oh, I think they're probably behind in stream.
Could be.
That may be what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. No worries.
Make sure you're watching the live.
Or we can deal with, like, we can just deal with the stream delay. That's fine.
Oh, that was about Mormon crickets.
Yeah, that's about Mormon. Mormon crickets are gross bugs.
Oh, I didn't have the question. Got it.
Yep.
Gotcha. Because earlier you asked, I have a question, how do I make a character? So I was just wondering, like, what kind of character do you want to make? What's your question? Or are you just asking, like, how do you make a 5e character, period? Because that's I should probably just make a video for that. But at the same time, there's a lot of them on the internet already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My suggestion would
Also,
go
like-
to D&D Beyond. Make an account.
Yeah. They have a step-by-step process on making them,
Yeah.
and it's pretty well organized and understandable. Only issue is if you don't pay for the books that have the Herringon in it, you won't be able to make a Herringon.
Stat block and such. Yeah, so that's like rudimentary D&D stuff. Basically, you're just going to roll your character. I would suggest reading the character creation book. Like, the first chapter in the Player's Guide?
Handbook.
Player's Handbook. There we go. Step 1. Pick your race. Roll your dice.
Yep. Like if you're making the cleric, you definitely will want to have like your wisdom, probably more your highest stat.
Yep.
Or if you want to be more of a like combat cleric, maybe focus strength or dex over the wisdom a little bit.
Yeah, it really depends on what you want. Really depends on what you want.
Because depending on your cleric subclass, it kind of like doesn't necessarily pigeonhole you, but like they have a certain flavor of like some are more castery than others.
Yeah, I think it really depends on. I usually try to have people tell me like, what do you want your character to do in combat, and then I go from there. Because yeah, like you can be a very tanky or very supporty or a very damage dealery, pretty much everything. Like, and all of those need different focuses.
And if this is the first character you've ever built, like, don't worry about trying to make it perfect. D&D is it's a type of game where you learn as you go, and learning as you go is kind of part of the fun.
Yeah.
So like,
I would.
your character doesn't need to be perfect. Just make something and play it. And if it doesn't play exactly the way you want, then go back to the drawing board, try something else, or try to rework what you got.
I would very much
as
suggest
you-
going to like D&D Beyond and just making a a human fighter or whatever, just to see how see the process. That would be the easiest way to do it. The way I do a Herringon Aasimar cleric is by simply going Herringon as a race with a multi-class divine soul sorcerer with cleric, and that would be my advice. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, because then you're just using the Herringon race, and then you can flavor in any of the extra stuff you want through your class. That's a fine way to do it. That's the thing about Aasimar and Aasimar, tieflings, and half dragons and stuff. Like, there's so many options for that to just be part of your class that it's kind of a weird. With the bloodlines, like sorcerer bloodlines and warlock patrons and stuff. I like the idea that, like, I've talked about sorcerer being a like should actually be a racial feat. I like the idea of warlock kind of being tied to that too. Like, it fundamentally alters your character instead of just being classes.
Yeah.
So like, oh, now I'm part Fae.
Which is how Pathfinder does it, which is one of the reasons why we tend to prefer Pathfinder.
I really love the Howl of the Wild because they're bringing back the templates, but they're doing it in a sneaky way.
Yeah.
Like for the pets, what they're doing is they're like, oh, if you want this kind of pet, remove this and add this tag. And it's like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. like, it's really cool. I really like that. So like, oh, if you're aquatic, remove the
Land speed.
the land speed, and then replace it with this, with the water speed, and then this becomes that. I was like, that's awesome. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
I really do feel like Pathfinder specifically is, it's like the moddable version of D&D. Like
Yeah,
everything's built to be modded, and like D&D is already like that, but Pathfinder just like embraces it. Like, here's the source code. Have fun with it. It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. The community wants this. Okay, the community can write it. If the community is not going to write it, then we'll get to it eventually.
Yep.
It's yeah. I much more enjoy Pathfinder. I realize, like, let's be very clear here. Pathfinder is not for everybody. It's quite a bit harder to get into. It's quite a
It's
bit
also
more
not perfect.
complicated. Yeah, it's far from being perfect. It's quite a bit more complicated. Turns take a lot longer, but like you can also do a lot more, and you've got a lot more latitude to like really change up your character. So it's a very different type of gameplay style. So I don't recommend it for everybody, but I really like it. And if you prefer something simpler, 5e is probably the thing for you.
And 5e is great for
Yeah.
especially learning how tabletops work.
Yeah. And if you don't like second edition Pathfinder, but you like
5e
want
is-
more from 5e, then first edition Pathfinder is probably where you want to go.
5e is the Apple of the Mac version of tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
Don't look at the numbers.
Excellent way to put it.
Here's your barbarian. Like, okay.
That's interesting.
Animal affinity is kind of a feature of the chaotic side of tieflings and ASMR. One of the animal-headed angels.
Gassion.
Beelzebub.
Right there. I think I'm finally done with this.
Alright.
B. Okay. What am I rolling?
D20.
D20. 16.
Changeling cowboy. Like total Clint Eastwood, etc. outfit. Clint Eastwood-esque. That's a hard combination.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Changeling cowboy.
Okay.
Simple. I like it.
Gray alien Clint Eastwood coming up. Where's my drawing saves? There we go.
No. No, go to my channel. Why would you... Twitch, you make me so mad.
Before I start on Cowboy, I'm gonna run to the toilet, so I will be right back.
Abraca, fuck you! Forgot about that. Oh, McElroy boys. So funny. Okay. My second idea is a cloaker rogue. Cloaker is a race in Absalom guide to social acceptance. That's not Absalom. Alice's Guide. I've not heard of that. Is that a third-party book? Cloakers are fun. Cloakers are a great animal. I don't know how you would make a cloaker rogue. But, because I'm thinking of cloakers, they're like manta rays, right? They're like weird, creepy bug manta rays.
Unless...
Can they speak common?
I don't think they can speak.
They're aberrants.
Yeah, but so are flumps, and flumps don't speak.
They don't? I thought they could speak. Maybe they speak telepathically, don't they?
Hey, hang on. Because I think, even though they're aberrations, I think they're more or less just like monsters.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they're just cave monsters. Chris Zito made monsters into playable races. Ah, I don't know who Chris Zito is.
apparently they can speak deep speech and undercommon.
Okay, if they speak undercommon, there you go. Hey, if they can speak, you can play them. And if they can't speak, give them speech. That's what I always do. My favorite class of all time was the polar bear monk. That was really fun. Would do it again. So if you want to make a cloaker, if he already has a stat block, like, you're good to go. You know, just pick what you want. Take rogue. I would do probably I would probably focus on the fact that your stealth is going to be ridiculous. And just you actually could do the assassination rogue really well with that, because, like, you just hide for a couple rounds until someone doesn't notice you and then assassinate them. Team 4 stars. Yeah. I don't know. Is that it? They must do their own stuff. I'll have to look into them. But if you want to do that and you don't have to worry about figuring out any of the other stuff, but it sounds like he already did, so it might be good. You could just start off with level, like, 8 levels in Cloaker, and then start taking class levels on top of that. Because essentially what you'd be losing is the monster levels. If you just started level 1 as a Cloaker, so you'd lose a lot of your like stealth bonuses and stuff. But you get it back with the Rogue, and I would definitely give it a passive one, because you can do your weird hiding thing. That should be based in your race, not the class.
I would also argue that if you did want to go rogue, I would argue like Gloomstalker Ranger would probably be amazing with that.
Gloomstalker Ranger would be bonkers. Let me see here. You lose multi-attack. You retain your bite. You'd retain the tail. Phantasm is interesting. I'm not sure.
That's essentially like a mirror image.
Yeah. But it's inherent.
Maybe get that at 5th level.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because, like, it's kind of what they do with tieflings is at 1st, 3rd, and 5th level, you get, like, innate magics. And so, I think that's what I would do, like, maybe at probably 5th level, since it is mirror image, and mirror image is always nice to have.
Proficiency bonus +3. Hit points 12d10. Oh my. Yes, this is 12 levels of Cloaker.
Or 78 hit points if you just don't want to roll those.
It's getting 4 bonus from that, so. I would say you'd probably get Phantasms at. I would give you Moan at 3, and then Phantasms at 5 or 8. That could be fun. And then the DC looks like it's based around. Looks like it's based around your charisma. Charisma plus your proficiency bonus. +2 strength, +1 dex or charisma is essentially what you're looking at. But yeah, false appearance, damage transfer, and light sensitivity. I think are things you would get at level 1, and that would be fun. I would definitely allow that. Don't know. You do have 40-foot fly speed, but you would lose multi-attack for sure.
Yeah. Because like,
Oh,
even
and your bite would go down to a D6 until you hit 10, and then it goes to a 2D6, I think.
because like even Aarakocra have a claw attack and flying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not
But
too
granted,
bad.
that's about all they get. So.
Definitely doable. Part of that is I think you're gonna start you get your sneak attack damage on the first round, and then if you grapple them, you no longer get your sneak attack damage. I don't think. That's weird. That's interesting. Because then you'd be moving to like a smothering thing. So the rogue would amp up your ability to get your sneak off, but with false appearance, you almost don't need it. It might be better to do like a monk or a barbarian and just like make your grapple super destructive. That would be really fun. A barbarian cloaker. Why is that wall screaming?
Battle Rager just have a bunch of spikes through your membrane.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. How does that work? While attached to a creature, the cloaker takes only half the damage dealt to it, rounded down, and then the creature takes the other half. But if you have, let's say you have your little, you have a gnome here, and then the cloaker grabs it, and he's a barbarian, so he's raging, and then somebody stabs you both, you take 5, they take 5, but then you take half. So do you take 2 and they take 5 damage? Or would they then take 2 damage? Where would you apply that? Where would you apply to the negation?
As the GM, I would apply the negation first, because in my mind, with the cloaker wrapped around the other creature, they're taking the damage first, so their ability negates the damage first, and then the remaining damage is divided. That's how I would rule it, I think.
The cloaker takes only half the damage dealt, rounded down, and that creature takes the other half. So you would do 10 to 5, and then split it.
And then split it.
Okay. Less effective, but still funny. I don't want to draw the gun and the booze because they'll get kicked off YouTube. But I think it's implied with this guy. I think we did
Get a
it.
little drunk bubbles.
Sure. Or should that be like on his nose? For the dark ones.
Man, why can I paint a face this easily in any color but flesh tone?
Good question. You can't draw pew-pews? YouTube doesn't like pew-pews. I do from time to time, but it just depends. Like if it's very, very cowboyish, I can make an argument that like it's part of the costume. But when I just draw an angry man with a gun, YouTube gets angry. So, tall young human barbarian with long white hair and bare skin donned on his back.
Bears.
The barbarians. What color are we doing? Red? Good choice. Oh my god. They changed the way the poll sets up. So now I have to hit tab twice. And every time I hit tab once and hit enter, it deletes the post. Thanks, YouTube. I'm so glad you did that. Thank you for adding clicks to my day.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot what I was doing already. Oh, I remember.
Barbarian with a bear pelt.
White-haired bear barbarian. I wonder if I can do that. Hold on a second. Uh-oh. I broke it. I broke the internet. Huh, womp womp. Oh well.
What happened?
I was trying to utilize the wonders of AI to generate a pose list, like I just wanted a list of poses, and it broke. It broke real hard. To Google.
How dare you?
I need dynamic poses, please. There we go. I need some cool barbarian poses. This is what I need. Want to make your pose look more dynamic? Cover up the entire body with a leg.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. How do you make a pose look really cool? So much foreshadowing that you only see this much of their body. Hand. And this is the foot. I'm trying real hard to find better poses. I almost need to just grab a whole bunch of old comic books and just have them out.
Yeah.
That's a cool one. I like that. Try that. Nope, I hate it. Bri, welcome in. One second. I'll be right back.
love the new FMR Ancestry.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm not saying, I don't know if it's like, oh, this is the most OP Ancestry, but it's just very flavorful and cool to me. Like, they have like multiple like feat trees that they can work down if you want to focus on them, or like kind of take a little bit of everything.
Mm.
Because they got like a coral symbiote feat tree, a ill pet feat tree, and a defensive odor feat tree, which is really funny. And of course, things like better at swimming, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the heritages, you can be like covered in coral as armor. You basically have a living suit of armor, which I find very cool.
Well, come on, Aggie. Don't blow up on me, please.
Or if you want to be a large SMR, you can, which I find very cool.
Yeah, I love that you can play so much with the size of so many of the heritages.
No, Rook wouldn't be happy about this. But I'm glad the Mentor also has a medium size option. It's like if you want to be like a smaller cow person, you can.
Yeah. Well, Rook and I talked about this a little bit. I don't think he actually minds it. I think
It's like so instead of like your horn attacks doing the normal D8, they drop down to a D6. And like you're just medium. So like you can fit into places a bit better.
I love it, especially because it basically means that it makes it possible to do the forever old internet meme of a mini minotaur.
Yep. Well, you can even become an even minier minotaur-like creature when the new Tiansha book comes out. There's
Yeah.
another bovine-like ancestry called the Sarangae, and they have an option where you can be small. Small and sneaky.
Yeah, I like them. I remember us talking about them. They're a pretty cool heritage. All right, I gotta. This is not gonna read as cowboy unless I get cowboy hat in here. Although I am ending up with a coat that's feeling very Vash the Stampede, honestly. Just not bright red.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Apparently, Instagram or Facebook, I guess I should say, has decided to start scraping Instagram for AI stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, well, shit.
There's a way of turning it off. So.
Is there? Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah. I saw it, I think yesterday. I'll see if I can find it and share it with you.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna try this pose. That's just a big old dongus. I lost Twitch chat. I'm so sorry. What's Twitch doing? It's just gone. Where'd it go? Oh, I replaced it when I typed in the cloaker. I know a bunch of Instagram artists stopped using hashtags. Interesting. In the California Raisin sing-song voice. Man, I don't remember that.
Stop using hashtags so that they wouldn't get scraped for AI.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me, I care, but at the same time, like, my stuff's on all over. Google. So like, I want people to find my stuff. That's the real problem with the AI. Is like, there's no backwards. It's Pinterest. It's the same argument I had with Pinterest a while back. Like Pinterest is great. Pinterest is great for ease of access of getting to things, but it doesn't reference the sources at all. It's so hard to like actually find out who the artist is or where it came from.
Yep.
And so,
Well, that's more or less because people don't put the artist. They'll
Right.
just like
it's
download picture and upload it.
and now
Direct
we're
that.
basically outsourcing that to a computer. It's just like, hey, can you scrape all this shit and put it up somewhere cool so I can have it? Don't comment. Don't say who the artist is though. It's like, why? I would love AI art if it had a citation. It's like, here are all the pieces of art that went into it. That would be cool. I would love that.
Same.
Because then like, oh, they used my stuff for this picture. That's awesome.
Ethically, it should.
Yeah.
Right. Again, though, we like touched on that conversation yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Although that conversation obviously never made it onto YouTube, but whatever.
You don't remember the California Raisin Show? I remember that it existed. I never actually watched it. Like, I think I had like a California Raisin Christmas Carol or something. That's about as much as I got. I know who they are and what they are, but I never actually watched the show. Which is the case for most of my childhood, because like I didn't have cable. I never had cable. I missed out on a lot of things, pop culture wise. Is he supposed to have braids? White braid, I think? That sounds right. I believe they're either on ABC or NPC. That would make, yeah. Okay. Yeah, apparently I just missed it then. Like I said, I know what they are. Now I feel old. I definitely know what they are. I had a California Raisin, like, I want to say action figure, but that's not what it was. It was like a wind-up toy that would sing. What the hell was it?
Weird.
Yeah. Weird. Clay Animation. Animation's great. I don't remember it being a show. I don't remember it being a show though. Like I never saw the show. I am all over the place right now. This one? Yes. Okay. What was I watching the other? Oh, I was watching Terminator 2. And something I noticed, which I'd completely forgotten about, is product placement. There's so many people just walking around holding Pepsi cans in Terminator 2. Super funny. It's time to go. Have a good stream. Thanks for help. Yeah, no problem, Yuki. If you have any more questions, let us know. You're also welcome to jump on the Discord and ask the D&D chat there. They generally have some pretty good suggestions.
Yeah. Probably pretty good with more specific suggestions than Rook and I managed to give you too.
Yeah, it's usually a little easier if you can have a conversation with somebody than just asking the stream, because then there's the delay and
Yeah.
so probably have a better time talking to somebody on Discord. Corvus,
Yes.
will you look up how I get that pterodactyl mount? I've been thinking about it all day, and it's like, you know what? I've got a new goal. Because that's how you play Final Fantasy 14. You find a goal, and then you spend 6 months trying to achieve it. Skip Cat, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be up here. I just ate lunch. I need my treats. You don't get treats for eating lunch.
See, I guess it's this one.
Time for meal eaten. Time for the digestive.
Castle in the Sky. What you need.
I swear I already got that. What's the
Earn
requirement?
500,000 points. That's what it is. Towards your Skyward score and every disciple of the Hand and Land.
Get 5,000 points in every disciple of the land.
And
Okay.
Hand, yes.
I might be behind on fishing. I bet. Oh, Skip Cat. Oh, Skip Cat, so cute. Hello. supposed to be up here. You know what this means. When you stand on the keyboard, you get the brush. You get the brushings.
Does he not like the brushings?
Not really. Like, it's a, it's not something that, he doesn't like, he won't bite me if I'm brushing him. But he doesn't like just sitting around being brushed. So if I start brushing him, he's like, hey, stop that, and he walks away. So, one, I get to brush him, and then he has to decide whether or not he wants to be in the way or brushed. And he has to decide which is...
Interesting.
So there, he walked away and he came back. He's like, all right, fine, brush me. So, he wants to be more in the way today than not be brushed.
I really like that as a way of interacting with your cat. But it's very clearly not negative reinforcement.
This is the price. You want to sit on the desk? You gotta get brushed. Now there's just cat hair everywhere.
How dare you?
Yeah, all I'm gonna sit over on this side. That still gets you the brushings. You still get the brushings if you sit over here. Sorry, we're taking a cat break. What kind of character is that, if I may ask? The one on the left or the one on the right? One is a changeling cowboy.
Cowboy.
The other one is a human barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian.
Rothgar. What was the other one?
Beowulf?
No, there was one on Adult Swim that was just like, it was vulgarity. I can't remember what it's called. Doesn't really matter. The left one? Yeah, it's human barbarian with a bear pelt. Well, Atomic, Skip Cat got lots of pets, so. He also adjusted my pen size. That's not what I needed. Damn it.
Turn into soup.
Yep, turn into soup.
I like the pose you got going on, Rook.
Thank you. I kind of want to give him. I'm going to put a big bear skull right here. Blur. As characterized here, nice. I was gonna give him like a huge, unnecessarily large club. So I thought that would be fun.
Yeah. I agree, that would be funny.
Skeepcat just jumped down, ate like 4 more pieces of food, and now he's back up on the desk. Oh, he's sleeping on this cat bed. All right.
So maybe he's just feeling gregarious today.
You made that word up. No, I'm just kidding.
He just wants to be around you.
Gotcha.
Oh, dang. I can't get those mounts.
Which ones?
The Lynx mounts. They're in Endwalker.
Ah. I think those are from like the raids, right?
I need a healing.
I don't know.
Thank you. I'll do fine. And posture check. Basically, every expansion has a new type of mount that you need to get like 6 or 8 of, and then you can fuse them together into a giant mount.
Oh.
I mean, you get all of them, so you get
Yeah.
all of the 8, and then you have like a super glowy version that you only get from completing all the raids. So
Yeah, this one, these require like totems. So like, there's one that requires like 99 umbral totems.
umbral totems, eh?
And you get it from the Minstrel's Ballad, Hylian's Call.
Yeah, that's the savage versions of the raid. So I can't get those yet. I probably could, but that's like the big 20-man raids that I don't want to do. Mind you, we can get all the lower ones because we can go like we can 3 or 4 man those, and just try to get them.
God dang. Found another cool one. Can't get it. Also Endwalker.
Welcome to Endgame. This is how Final Fantasy gets you. Like, hey, check out this cool thing. Now play the game a bunch to try to get it. It's like, all right, fine.
What about this tortoise? Can I get the tortoise?
Yeah, tortoise is pretty easy, I think.
Oh, it's gold saucer. Need 200,000 MGP.
That's not hard. We can get that in 3 weeks. And that's not like 3 weeks of grinding. That's like basically you do the daily quests once a week. So it just take you 3 weeks of doing the fashion report.
Fashion. Battle bear. I just know there's one I really wanted, but like I had to do like the weird raids. Like you said, it's like basically Final Fantasy 7 or 11, whichever it was.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know what you're talking about. It might be something different.
It's like a weird flying fish mount thing.
That sounds like the Eureka stuff, yeah.
Yes.
That is kind of a pain. But it's only a pain because they're like, what if we put a different game inside of our game? So you can you can do it on any class, which is fun. But
Considering I hated that one dungeon where like, oh, here's all the all those class mechanics and dungeon mechanics we've taught you for like 60 some levels. Yeah, throw those out the window because none of these bosses follow those rules.
That was the old dungeon. That's what they did. Like that's how that was in ARR. And then they revamped it and then people were like, "Hey, we missed the old shit." And it's like, "Okay." So they made a hard version of the dungeon to punish those people. That said they liked it.
Be careful what you wish for.
To get the battle bear, I need Tank You Warrior 3.
I think that's just doing the
Dungeons and everything.
Yeah, you just have to play as a tank, right?
Yeah, complete 300 dungeons, level 61 and above, extreme trials, unreal trials, and so on and so forth. Or the dailies.
Gotcha.
As a warrior specifically.
I don't know if I've done that yet. Skip cat. What is up? If I stand up and you sit in my chair, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Do you understand this? Do you understand this?
I'm before you deal with that, I'm ready for a new prompt.
Okay. Yep, he just wants the chair. No, you don't get my chair. You can sit down over
I rolled a 6.
Goatman Druid Fighter. Like from Diablo or Warhammer.
Okay.
Well, apparently all of the tanks get a mount
Mm-hmm.
when they do a thing. So, like, knowing as Dark Knight gives you the Battle Panther, which is ugly and edgy. Gunbreaker gets a tiger. Paladin gets a lion.
Are those just achievement based, or do you have to go get them?
Yeah.
I might have
They're, like,
completed some of
achievement
those.
based.
I should probably check. 600
Yeah, so-
though, like that's basically doing the daily every day for 2 years.
Well, 300.
Okay. Doing the daily every day for a year as the same class, which I don't think I do. So maybe I'm not close to that.
Yeah, I definitely know I don't have them because I don't play tank enough.
Mhm.
And I only have one tank that I can really do dungeons with, and that's the Dark Knight.
Well, the beauty about Final Fantasy 14 is like you can get a level, as long as you get like a level 10 tank, you can do dungeons with your friends. Like it's not super restrictive. So as soon as you get Death Knight, you can do dungeons with them. As soon as you get Gunbreaker, you can do dungeons with them. So I was kind of gearing up to start working on my game again. I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun. I should do that. And then I started listening to this music. And I'm like, I would have to make music for that game. Dang it. Cats always understand. They just choose to be assholes. I'm liking Guild Wars 2 so far. That's good. Hollow Vision as the Yu-Gi-Oh kids say? What was that in relation to? I missed that.
No idea.
This guy definitely has a Monster Hunter vibe going on here.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if that was my intention, but that's where we're at. So.
I mean, part of it is definitely the oversized club.
Yeah. I definitely broke this guy's arm. Hold on.
My arm.
The elbow should be right here. 2 appropriately sized clubs. Hells yeah. Talking about the shiny version of mounts and other loot. Oh, gotcha. Holographic card. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I am done. I think I'm done with this bad boy, yeah.
And why do I do this to myself with the complicated horn shapes?
Right? It's always infuriating.
Yeah, I mean, it's comforting that you do the same thing constantly, but
You want horns to look cool? A goblin bard with a tribal tattoo and a didgeridoo. All right. What was the origin of the tribal tattoo? Where does that one come from?
Blade?
Blade. Maybe. I haven't drawn a thick goblin in a while. I kind of want to draw a thick goblin with a didgeridoo.
go for it. That sounds like fun.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Looks like it's just a bastardization of the Samoan and Polynesian and Maori influences.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at it, it looks like they've taken like the various like island cultures, like ranging from like all the way from the Philippines down to New Zealand, and just kind of dumbed it down.
Yeah, because a lot of the Polynesian ones are very geometric and like repetitive, but like the tribal tattoo that is like the barbed wire tattoo that I'm talking about,
Yep.
like what we consider a tribal tattoo, like it's not that. Like it's not
Yeah.
close. So it's like I guess I could see it being the original and just kind of being I guess there's wave patterns in some of them, and it's just such a far departure from the source that it's like, who actually decided, yeah, let's just do this?
Yeah,
Because
I
if you
don't know.
type in like tribal tattoo origin, you get
Maori
Something about, like,
tattoos, yeah.
Maori or like tattooing, and it traces its origins back to ancient Greeks and Egyptians. I was like, that's not what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they were not the first people to do it.
Yep.
Ooh, interesting. Apparently, it is just like a amalgamation of cultural appropriation, including Celtic
Yep.
tattoos. That might be the part that I'm kind of. It's basically the inking style and line art of Polynesian with the iconography of Celtic. Gets you those.
Yeah, like
they're
the
essentially
kind
knots.
of weaving together of.
Interesting. That's kind of cool. Given the source of the barbed wires has some origin in World War II Pacific theater? Oh, maybe. That could be. A lot of the World War II tattoos were... Cat, you gotta... No. Stop. Were, not that artistic. A lot of them were, like, on-base tattoos. So, they're,
Yeah.
they're more pin-up, classical stamp type of things for specific theaters. So, like, if you went to this island, the people on base would give you a specific tattoo. Or for your platoon, like your platoon would get a specific tattoo. But
Yeah, like if you were in this certain fighter squadron, y'all would have, I don't know,
you don't get the
same
same one,
tattoo.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at these Warhammer Goatmen, and they are basically just goat minotaurs.
Yeah, they
Yep.
are. 100%.
So I think I'm just gonna.
Same with the Diablo Goatmen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play with those themes then. Which means he still needs a nose ring. Let's see, how do I want to do Druid? As a Druid myself, you would think I would have an answer for that immediately.
There you go, Rick.
What am I looking at?
A potato.
Dragoon.
A potato dragoon.
It's the new
Oh, yeah.
Dawnguard, or Dawnguard.
Ooh.
Dawntrail.
I might be updating
Dragoon
my
armor.
Dragoon armor finally.
I was gonna say, I thought to myself, Rick might like this one actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be updating to the Bard one though.
You know, the Bard armor just all looks bad. I've not yet found a...
At least I will not be getting that weapon.
Okay.
I mean, all bards have to have giant fluffy hats.
Yeah, all bards and all pirates.
Red
Yep.
mages, yep. Red mages and bards need fluffy hats. Do you want to do
But
big?
I really
wanna
like-
do big ears.
I really like the summoner one. though.
That one looks pretty good. I like the large mantle, like the
Like cowl thing.
yeah, whatever you call it, shoulder covers. I think mantle's the right word.
Yeah.
They're like reverse satyrs. Yeah, a little bit.
The goatman. Yeah, kind of.
They're like yeah.
Or fawn plus.
Yeah. What was this supposed to be? Goblin Bard with a didgeridoo? Can't remember if there was
Tribal
more
tattoo.
to it. What was that?
A goblin with a tribal tattoo and a didgeridoo.
Tribal tattoo. That's what I forgot.
Yep. That's how we got in the conversation of tribal tattoos.
You're right. Mantle is the right word. Okay, good. Even orc bards. Holly hanging from the horns, yeah. We want this tattoo to go like all the way down the arm. Sleeve tattoos are pretty cool sometimes.
They can be.
Voice seems low here on YouTube. I might just not be talking. I'm not sure. Is it quiet?
Yeah. I think you've been kind of, like, when we have been talking for the last little bit, you've been kind of mumbling a little bit.
That's very possible.
We are getting kind of late into the stream, which means energy is flagging.
Yep. Oop, hold on a
At
second.
least it is for me, for sure.
Hey, everybody. Okay, sorry. I got to get going. Sorry, something came up. So I will be back. Well, I won't be back later. I'm just going to end the stream here. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Sorry I got to bounce out so quick. But
worries.
I will finish up this drawing. I will put it on the Discord. You guys can check that out later.
Yep.
We'll be back on Friday, hopefully. So thanks again. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice at the table, and I'll catch you all later. Bye, everyone.